I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed.
Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other.
Somebody. We will be sure. Oh, one day when the war is won, we will be sure. We will be sure. Oh, glory, glory, glory. Oh, glory, glory.
You know, Malcolm, that's the reason we sit here and talk together like we do. We've been sitting talking in the same spot. Yeah, I know. I just think that there's still something for us to do. Something for us to do. Something like what, Martin? Something like what, Martin? Look at Martin. All we said is something, and something that's already been done. Or at least the cause is long gone, man. Cause will never be long gone, man. Cause within a person can be long gone, Martin. And you as well as anybody out there should know that. You should know that the hard work and passion of men will never be long gone and unthought of. Even when the body is dead, our work will still remain.
White man pays Reverend Martin Luther King, subsidizes Reverend Martin Luther King, so that Reverend Martin Luther King can continue to teach the Negroes to be defenseless. That's what you mean by nonviolent. Be defenseless. Be defenseless in the face of one of the most cruel beasts that has ever taken the people into captivity. That's this American white man. And they have proved it throughout the country by the police dogs and the police clubs. 100 years ago, they used to put on a white sheet and use a bloodhound against Negroes. Today, they have taken off the white sheet and put on police uniforms. They've traded in the bloodhounds for police dogs, and they're still doing the same thing.
I was about 8 or 9, Mark. My house was broken into by a bunch of hooded white men, burning crosses and setting houses on fire. It was around that time, Mark, when I realized that I would surely grow up to be a typical black man in America.
And just as Uncle Tom, back during slavery, used to keep the Negroes from resisting the bloodhound or resisting the Ku Klux Klan by teaching them to love their enemy or pray for those who use them despitefully, today Martin Luther King is just a 20th century or modern Uncle Tom or a religious Uncle Tom who is doing the same thing today to keep Negroes defenseless in the face of attack that Uncle Tom did on the plantation to keep those Negroes defenseless in the face of the attacks of the Klan in that day.
Tell me what I know about you all these ages. You are a coward. You have been paid subsidized amounts of money to tell your folks to tell you to turn on the cheek. You are nothing less than a mindless puppet, a local celebrity, a modern day Uncle Tom.
And suggested also that this movement preaches a gospel of violence.
No, the black people in this country have been the victims of violence at the hands of the white man for 400 years. And following the ignorant Negro preachers, we have thought that it was godlike to turn the other cheek to the brute that was brutalizing us. And today, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is showing black people in this country that just as the white man and every other person on this earth has God-given rights, natural rights, civil rights, any kind of rights that you can think of when it comes to defending himself, black people we should have the right to defend ourselves also.
Well, I don't think of love as, in this context, as emotional bosh. I don't think of it as a weak force. But I think of love as something strong and that organizes itself into powerful direct action. This is what I tried to teach in the struggle in the South, that we are not engaged in a struggle that means we sit down and do nothing. That there's a great deal of difference between non-resistance to evil and non-violent resistance.
I had a dream that everybody sat down together and looked past anybody. I had a dream that it was only about the person. Just the person. The person wasn't limited by the color, about what he did as a person. My dream was about generations of paradise and not for a particular group of people. Everybody.
If anyone has ever lived with a nonviolent movement in the South, from Montgomery on through the Freedom Rides and through the sit-in movement and the recent Birmingham movement, and see the reactions of many of the extremists and reactionaries in the white community, he wouldn't say that this movement makes, or this philosophy makes them comfortable. I think it arouses a sense of shame within them often, in many instances. I think it does something to touch the conscience and establish a sense of guilt. Now, so often people respond to guilt by engaging more in the guilt-evoking act in an attempt to drown the sense of guilt. But this approach certainly doesn't make the white man feel comfortable. I think it does the other thing. It disturbs this conscience, and it disturbs this sense of contentment that he's had.
You say nothing's going to change. What say you to all of our black people that's doing away? What say you to the black clergymen, lawyers, policemen, doctors? Shall I go on? Past presidencies. What say you to Black Lives Matter? What say you to every black soul out there making a difference for the next black soul to make another difference? Ain't nothing gonna change, Malcolm. Difference is change, Malcolm. What say you to every black soul out there making that difference for all people in this country?
Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
You are no enemy of man, but you are in the way of a long time of positiveness for our people. I cannot work with the warmonger side of it, but I will do my best to stop everyone who thinks the way that you do. The way of war, the way of separation, the way of unforgiveness to an entire nation. Stay out of the way of my love. Stay out of the way of my peace. Now the